This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to the MS group tonight. Apologies. I accidentally started updating my computer when I was having problems earlier, and it's still updating. So when it stops updating, I'll get into my computer and everything. But right now I'm on my phone, so I can't see everybody as people join. So let me know when you're here. So we're going to go ahead and go around the group. My name is Kim. I'm from Iowa. I have relapsing remitting, diagnosed in 2012, and I am currently on Ocrevus. Louie, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I just finished eating. Okay. From San Antonio, Texas, with relapsing remitting, diagnosed in 2021, I think, and from San Antonio. Or Ocrevus. Yeah.
Did you need any time tonight, Louie?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, and then let's go ahead and swing it to Jen Digman.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I have secondary progressive MS, and I live in Michigan, and I'm currently taking Rituxan.
And did you need time tonight, Jen?
Sure.
Yes? Okay, excellent. Okay, and let's swing it over to the other Jennifer, aka Big Red. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Smith. I'm from Richmond, Indiana. I was diagnosed 2019 and I have relapse remitting and I take Aubagio.
Did you need time tonight?
Yeah, to catch you guys up.
Okay, excellent. Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm in Denver, Colorado. I have relapsing remitting MS, and I am on Tecfidera, diagnosed 2010.
Did you need time tonight?
Yeah, I need a little time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Karen, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm Karen. I'm in Oakland. Sorry, I'm finishing up the last of my tax documents. and I'm in Oakland. I have primary progressive MS, diagnosed, who remembers when, 4 or 5 years ago, even though I've had symptoms for 20 years. And because of my age and the wonderful pharmaceutical companies, there's nothing for me.
Did you need time tonight, Karen?
Not that it is on my mind right now.
Okay, great. Next, Carmen. Welcome back. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be back. It's Carmen from Canada. I'm in Kelowna, BC. I have primary progressive MS. I was diagnosed in 2014. I started on Ocrevus up here in Canada as a study in 2017 before it was even available. And I felt so lucky to get it. Anyway, I would like just a little bit of time. I've been gone because my husband had a heart attack actually, so
so sorry to hear
he's
that.
okay, but yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
we will swing
nice
back
to be back.
you. Yes, glad you're here tonight. Sherry, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sherry. I'm in Michigan. I have relapsing remitting. They don't know if I'm on the fence for secondary progressive. I'm not on any medication right at the moment because I had a big relapse and I'm I don't know what to take.
Okay. And have you been here before, Sherry?
No, this is my first time.
Okay. We will come back to you then. Let me finish getting the introductions done. Christy, go ahead and introduce yourself, please. Welcome back.
Hi guys, I'm Christy. I am from Brighton, Colorado. I was diagnosed, almost 20 years. Next month will be my 20-year anniversary for diagnosis. I currently have active secondary progressive, I recently had a backlift pump installed in me. All the kids think that I'm like part robot now. Pretty awesome. I'm currently in a wheelchair. Let me see here. I'm on Ocrevus, and as you can tell, I'm babysitting. So this is Violet. She's interested in touching the screen, so don't be surprised if she hangs up on you guys. So, but yeah, that's my story.
Did you need time tonight?
I'm not sure. I don't think I do.
All right, I'll put you as
Not that I
question
can
mark
think of.
then.
Okay.
And John, go ahead, introduce yourself, please. Welcome back.
I'm not introducing anything. Kidding. Hi, I'm John. I live in Michigan. I feel like it's been a minute since I've done this. I'm on Zeposia. I was diagnosed in 2016. Did I get everything right?
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about tonight, or did you need time for later?
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Okay, excellent. And then you want to hold on. I'm just looking at my laptop. Okay, did I get everybody? Did there's anyone that has not introduced themselves yet? It's kind of hard doing it on my computer. Okay, let's go swing back to our new person tonight, Sherry. Welcome. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? And did you have any questions that you wanted to ask us tonight? Since you have a room full of people that have MS? I cannot hear you.
You're on mute, Sherry.
I found it.
There you go.
I had a really bad relapse back in September, and they misdiagnosed it as anxiety. And they did no testing, so I didn't get any IV steroids for like over a week, and I'm still not walking. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Did you have any questions for us or anything that you want to talk about in particular? I'm sorry, guys, I've lost you guys on the screen. This is why I don't go on my phone.
So, Sherry, I was going to just ask you, you're a Michigander. We've got I think, two other Michiganders in here. So tell us where you live and where you're getting treated, and maybe some of your other Michigan friends can give you some comfort and some support and some advice.
Yeah, absolutely. I live in Big Rapids, so it's smaller than Grand Rapids, and I go to Spectrum Neurology down in Grand Rapids.
I live in Gaylord, it's on the 45th parallel, which is halfway between the equator and the North Pole. And
show us your hand.
Right. Show it on your hand where it's at.
Gaylord's like
Okay.
not too far from the bridge.
We've been trained.
There's not a lot of support up here, so I've been searching and searching. I would like in-person support, but I guess this is the next best thing. And my neurologist is in Traverse City. He's an hour and a half away. He wants to start me on Arbagio, but I don't know.
Well, you've come to the right place. But you've come to the right place to be.
Thank you.
You are not the first, second, third, or probably all of us have been diagnosed with anxiety, and it's all in your head, and it's all in, and it's your fault. And
the first time I was diagnosed with, I had a relapse and diagnosed with anxiety. I lost my sight for 6 months, and they still said it was anxiety. I mean, I do have anxiety, but I know the difference between a relapse and anxiety. You know.
But even if you didn't, MS comes with anxiety. So, like,
Oh, I
why
know.
point the finger at us and go, well, it's all in your head? It's true,
I
it's
know.
neurological, but that's
Yeah,
about it.
they told me to stand up. I mean, I was numb all the way up to the middle of my back on my right side, and they're like, stand up. And I'm like, what do you not understand?
Are they doing anything, any sort of treatment for your anxiety? Are you finding anything effective, either medication or
Medication, medication. I do all kinds of stuff. I do. I'm always searching the internet for anxiety tips and depression tips, and you
you
know.
tried like breathing,
Mhm.
meditation, relaxation? Like, have you found anything to help with that?
Actually, I found an online art class that one of the MS societies puts on, and
MS Foundation. Oh,
kind of
you were there
cool.
last night. Were you there
Huh?
last night?
With Hannah?
Yes.
With Hannah? Yeah, she's
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of our moderators. Yeah, yeah, she's amazing.
Oh, yeah. That was really neat. I really liked it, and it helped a lot. It got my mind off myself, and even though I'm not an artist like I used to be.
I was never an artist until I met Han. And I have a paralyzed right hand from MS,
Oh.
so I use my left hand. But yeah, yesterday I was like, not in the mood. I don't want to do art. I don't want to do this. And then I was so happy when it was over.
So, Sherry, we have an art program too, and which Hannah teaches, and it's a monthly program. So be sure to let Kim or me have your email address. Are you signed up for a reminder with us yet or not?
I don't know. I had to download some app to get into this.
Mhm.
Um,
But
I don't
just
even know
make
where
sure.
I don't know where I'm at. I don't I
All
don't
right. Now,
know.
well, listen. There's a chat window, which is the little in the top on the right. There's a little sort of speech box, and
I
a
see it.
lot. If you open that, there's a lot that goes on in the chat window in this meeting, although nobody yet has posted anything.
Okay.
So put your you can put your email in there, and then we'll make sure you get signed up, and I will make sure that the art people have your address so that they will send you the notification for the next art class. It's probably going to be sometime towards the end of March,
Oh,
and
thank you.
and we have two people to give you testimonies. One is Karen, who can give a testimony about our art class, and the other is Jennifer. You might want to talk to Jennifer a little bit about Abagio, because Jennifer is an Abagio person.
Okay. I, I thought it raised your blood pressure, and I already got high blood pressure, and I don't know if it's from anxiety, if it's really high blood pressure, so I don't know.
Well,
I'm
everything
worried.
seems to raise blood pressure, but Abagio, I have not had any of that problem. Nothing at all.
How about stomach upset? Because I just got off of an antidepressant that I was on for like 20 years. It upset my stomach, and I'm so much better.
Nope. I have no side effects.
Oh, okay.
I was on Tecfidera at first, which gave me hot flashes every
Uh,
day. But I took Abagio and nothing.
apparently, I can have hot flashes from anxiety. I guess
Yep.
that's one of the symptoms. So,
Dude, what I'm just confused in general. Like, why are you on Abagio and you on Ocrevus and you on something else? Like, do you even know, Jennifer? Or like I just feel like what is
I think that it's what works best for you. Um, I would say a number of us are on the more aggressive, if you want to use the word aggressive, therapies. But they start you out back in my day on like the everyday shot
hmm
and step down therapy. They want it before they get you on the more aggressive. But Dr. Boster that spoke with AnCan, a few years back, he's a big proponent of starting out at the higher tier medicine. I think it's just individuals. I know we were having a meeting with some people recently that I was surprised they were taking one of those first ABC drugs and doing really, really, really well. So I think everybody's makeup treats everybody different. Ask pharmacist Kim, what do you think?
Well, I think that part of it, I think part of it is like, are you positive for the JC virus? Are you not? I think a lot of it depends on your insurance and the comfort of your doctor. And just as we all know, everyone has MS is very different. So depending on what you're dealing with, what they might go for. So,
Yeah.
and someone
And
might
their
not like,
comfort.
yeah, and someone might be like, no to injections or infusions. I want a daily pill, or no, I'm not going to remember that. So give me something that's few and far between, like Ocrevus, which do twice a year. So it's nice
A lot of it
because
has to do also with the conversation between you and your neurologist. There's plenty of options out there. So don't be afraid to ask us, and we can give you kind of the common list of medications, and you can discuss that with your neurologist.
Tysabri was another one he suggested. He suggested Arbagio, Tysabri, and Zeposia. I don't have anyone to go with me, and like Tysabri, I got health anxiety, and I would be freaking out if anything, resembled PML. I don't know. I'm just afraid of the medicine, I guess.
And is the doctor asking you? I mean, it's part of my curiosity too, because I mean, I hear what everybody said to my query is how are they deciding? And it's individual providers are doing it, but this is the only disease I've ever heard of where you're asked to. So what would you like to take? So Sherry, you're saying they're asking you which one of these three do you think you would like based on what?
Yeah,
Your knowledge
yeah.
of pharmaceuticals, your knowledge of medicine? Yeah.
My dad
Oh,
was a pharmacist and I was a pharmacy tech, so I do have knowledge of medication, but I probably too much for my own good because I've been studying that they're doing the Tysabri long, like they're extending the dose to like 8 weeks instead of 4, and they said it lowers the risk of PML like 90%. So I don't know. I just can't make up my mind. I don't know.
sure.
When were you diagnosed, Sherry?
2008.
Okay.
And I was doing good till last September, and then I thought I was doing good, and then I got new lesions on my spine. Hence, I'm not walking. So,
Okay.
I mean, this medicine's not going to help me walk,
So you're
you
in a
know?
wheelchair
Yes,
since when?
last September.
Sherry, something that I did when I was like first given, that stack of pamphlets.
Hmm.
Um, I just read everything on their website, you know, found out like what kind of outreach that they have. Like is there someone to explain it easier than a doctor and whatever. Um, and I was on, oh my gosh, I even forget the name of it now. It goes away, doesn't it? You forget about it, it goes away. But I was on that for like 6 years, and because I read the research on it, you know, I'm a science nerd, so I like to learn everything about what's
Hmm.
happening to me. And so that's the thing that I just kind of wanted to read and really see if I agreed with my neurologist that on which one's the best, you know. And remember, it's you that are taking the drug, not
I
them.
know.
So just find out which one would be best for you. I'm a daily pill guy, I take enough medicine as it is. What's one more pill? You know?
The nice thing is that there are so many to choose from. I think, are we up to like at least 20? Is it 23 or it's something ridiculous?
Last
It
I heard, I think it's 26.
Yeah,
And
so
there
that's
were
amazing.
3 when I was diagnosed. So
For
I don't know,
relapsing
would you rather
remitting.
have 3 or would you have 26? And that can be overwhelming. So I'm sure it sounds like for Sherry, it's just,
Yeah.
and
And the
so,
and I was gonna say the good news is if you start one and you're having problems, you can switch off of it. It's not like you're stuck
Yeah.
on there forever. So it's not like you have to make one decision and then that's the only way you can go. The only difference on that one is it I'm gonna do the wrong ones. Is it Mavenclad where you can only do a couple of both doses and you don't do anything for like a couple years? Don't ask me how that one works, but I know that one that you do like a couple doses and then you next year like another and then you don't can't do anything for like a couple years. That's like the only one that you might have a problem with for a while. But other than that, I think if you're
That's
like
the one to
not working
avoid.
for me because of side effects, you can switch it. Like I'm on my third drug because I've had to switch it, with side effects and or
Well,
issues.
how do you
So
know these drugs are even working for you, all of you who are on them? Especially the ambassadors. Like, do you even know? Is there a way to
um
tell?
yeah, no new lesions or enhanced lesions in 3 years, which fits
So
right
Karen,
into what I like.
let me put this into perspective for you, Karen. So I was on Gilenya.
That's what I was
My
on.
neurologist that really didn't know anything about MS. He knew some stuff, but he wasn't like knowledgeable fully. He wanted to switch me over to Ocrevus. Well, he told me to stop taking the Gilenya, so I stopped. Like 3 months go by without any DMT, and that's how I ended up in a wheelchair because it's just like my body just kind of wreaked havoc. It's like, ooh, floodgates open. Let's make this a nightmare for her, in which it did. So I ended up in a wheelchair. I haven't walked in almost 2 years. The last time I kind of walked shortly after I was wheelchair dependent was when I saw you, Kim, when you guys were in Colorado. And that time I was even using a walker, but it just so rapidly declined in 3 months. So I don't know. I have a testimonial to the drugs.
Has
So
anyone ever been
and
on Tysabri? Because Tysabri, they say when you quit that, you can go into a relapse, and that kind of worries me.
Yeah, I actually was on Sabri, I think, for 5 or 6 years until I became JC positive. And
Okay.
at that point, my neurologist ended up putting me on Rituxan as I was coming off the Tisabri because it works differently. And because they were concerned about that, I think that it's called like the iris syndrome, where your immune system reconstitutes. I
Yeah.
don't remember what the whole abbreviation is, but that was a big concern. But it wasn't really too much of a problem getting off of it. It was just a matter of finding another drug to switch to that I could change to without problems.
I never was introduced to Tysabri because I am JC positive. So I am kind of limited on some of the medications I can go on.
Yeah.
But, there's a medication for every scenario. So actually there's multiple medications that are good for every scenario, and it's just advanced so much over the years. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a medication unless it just doesn't work for you. Then you have to switch it up.
I'm so jealous you
So,
guys all have choices for relapsing remitting. Primary progressive is you got Ocrevus. That's it.
Carmen, are you saying that in Canada or just in general?
In general, unless, does somebody know about another treatment for primary progressive MS other than Ocrevus?
I don't know if Kesimpta is that for more
No,
progressive MS. No,
there, no, there isn't
it's just
so-called
Ocrevus.
anything because they have to test it on younger people, and
They
they
do
don't test it
steroids.
on people over 60. They don't bother with it. It's just not profitable. So, yeah, I'm listening to this book, An American Sickness, How Healthcare Became Big Business. I'm only in the first part. I'm listening 4 hours into like 16 hours, and it's hideous. And I worked in healthcare, so I watched how that all happened. Intuitively, I would go, what the hell? What is this? What is this? For, 30 years I watched. This doesn't make sense. So she explains it. It's really depressing. So I'm waiting to get to the next part that says, and what you can do about it. Because it's already, I can feel it's turning the corner. It's like, okay, now that I've told you how hideous big business has destroyed medicine, I'm starting to feel the tide turn a little bit. Here's what needs to happen next.
Does anyone have any other comments? I know we have a bunch of people that wanted to talk tonight, so if we can go, does anyone want to say anything else before we go to the next person? Okay, Mike, what would you like to share tonight?
Well, I haven't been to group, I think, in over a month. Just been kind of busy, and I had I had a fall toward the end of January. I fell down our basement stairs and got a concussion and couldn't remember. Well, at first I couldn't remember anything from that entire day. Eventually that got a little bit better, but it was kind of like when you're driving like on the highway and then you realize that you don't remember what you saw the last 20 minutes. It was kind of weird. I've never been concussed before, so it was kind of a new thing, and it was a big deal, an ER visit and all that. And I'm just kind of getting over that. I had a UTI, they found out at the time too, and I've been doing better. And then yesterday, I started getting this pain in my side, and I'm feeling like crap, and I'm having a lot of really bad banding, a lot of pain and weakness, and I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I'm thinking I probably have another UTI, and that's been kind of frustrating. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't have like really any symptoms of a UTI last time, except I had like this slight pain in my side, and now I have it again. And but like I don't have like weird smelling urine, no pain, no nothing, and it's getting kind of frustrated. I do have like bladder issues as far as I can't empty my bladder all the way, and I get urgency and things like that. So I'm guessing that I'm just, and I've tried to increase like my hydration, like my water intake and stuff like that, to make sure that I'm keeping stuff moving. And I don't know if anybody has any other like suggestions about that, or they know it's not my kidneys. They did do an ultrasound and stuff, so I don't have like stones or anything, and nothing's pointing to like an infection there, at least when I was in the hospital a few weeks ago. So I was just wondering if anybody had any suggestions or experience with it or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I do. I had a UTI. Can't remember when, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. I find very little information in the U.S. about MS. It's all about drugs, pharmaceuticals, and how you should just, not let this disease take over your life. Ha! Like, sure. So, anyway, I did get a UTI. I read stuff. I'm tired of being a full-time MS patient. So, then I take breaks, but I read stuff from the UK, And UTIs are very common with they're very common with MS. According to the neurologists there, the respected trusted ones, that you should be treated right away. Like you should have something on hand to be treated because of all the cascading effects that you're talking about. And I get, women tend to get UTI. I don't know about men because I'm not one, but especially younger women tend to get UTIs. So I haven't gotten them for years from the time I was younger in my 20s or something, but I can feel like just a little weird sensation. It's so subtle and I feel it. And as soon as I feel it now, definitely, I even have little pee cups at home. It's like, I am going to get tested because it's just, you'll feel something usually. But if you have retention, and I have that too, I go and I'm done and then I got to go again, like I'm not finished. So just that urine sitting in the bladder is going to create a great host for infection. Um, I, I at least would ask the neurologist, like, are you familiar with that? What can I do? And because it's not our fault that these things are happening to us. And you just get tired of feeling like a chronic complainer about things, and they're just going to blame it on whatever. So, I
Mike,
think you're doing the right thing, Mike. Or,
who's treated your UTI? Was it your just normal doctor? Was it a urologist? Who have you seen for that?
Well, the last time was in the ER, so it was an ER doctor. And actually, they weren't even going to check for it, but my wife thought about it. They had done like every other kind of test you could imagine. I had X-rays, I had CTs, I had blood work done, and then they were doing a neurological exam, and the doctor says, "Well, your right leg seems like it's weaker than on your last neurology visit, so we're going to do MRIs too." So, I mean, I got the full thing, and then my wife's all like, "Hey, why don't you do it tests his urine too, because he gets UTI a lot." And so they did that. But anyway, now tomorrow I'm gonna go see. I'm just seeing my primary care. Going to the neurologist. They're all the way across town, and it's hard to get in, like on short notice and stuff like that.
But you don't have to go to see, you don't have to go to a neurologist to talk about a UTI. And I think just the general practitioners and even the urologists, they don't know. It wasn't until I had that infection, and I don't know, it's kind of a long story, but different people got involved in it. I wasn't sure who's going to give me the treatment because I did it in the urology clinic, and then somebody else, and then I called the emergency, and then they ordered a drug, and then they wanted another sample. And so I talked to the neurology nurse. I mean, I think for us with MS, UTI, I don't know if they have a nurse attached to your program, so you don't have to actually talk to the doctor, because I was freaking out, because then it turned out, oh, they tossed my sample, that the first medication I got didn't quite cover it, and it took a while to heal. And my primary, she's pretty good. She said, it could take 2 or 3 weeks for it to get out of your system, because I'm like, I took something and it helped, but it's not better. And we just don't need more anxiety. We don't need more assault on our body. And that's what I was reading from, forgot his name, Dr. G, and in the UK, saying, I wish the primary cares could just have like a standing order. As soon as you get a UTI, treat it, because you have to go somewhere, you got to give your sample, they got to run the test, they got to get back to you, you got to go, and now you're 3-4 days into it. And UTIs, I just know because I worked with seniors, it can make you crazy, like especially older people. They start, somebody who was like all of a sudden normal is, up all night long, getting dementia, and a lot of times it could create that type of reaction. So it's not just
Hey,
discomfort.
Mike,
Yeah.
I've been dealing with UTIs like you and I could talk. I swear, I'm going through it right now. And my urologist and my neurologist talked about a prescription that they wanted me to try, and it hasn't been working all that well, but I could recommend it. It's called Hiprex, and you take it twice a day. But like I said, it hasn't been working that well. And when I spoke with the urology office last, like maybe 2 days ago, no, it was last week because I got the order from Amazon. So she told me about a vitamin supplement called D-Manos, and
Okay.
and it's it it might help treat a deficiency caused by anywho, it might prevent certain kinds of bacteria from sticking to the walls of the urinary tract and causing infection. And so this is Kim says she uses D-Manos as well. I don't know if it works, Mike, but that's what I'm trying right now. And I've read really good things on Amazon, other people saying it really helped them. And it's
Okay,
just a supplement I'm taking.
it's called the Manos.
Yeah, Kim typed the name in the
Oh,
chat.
okay.
And
Is
so
that
I
your
use,
urologist, Jen, or your
yeah,
neurologist?
that was my
Euro? You.
urologist with a U. And I'm just like, I'm in that perpetual state where Karen and I have talked about it. I've talked about it at group before, where I'm constantly getting UTIs. And this last time that I spoke with the nurse, she said to try D-Manos. So
Okay.
I don't know if that can help, but just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I might try that because I've gotten a lot of UTIs over the past couple of years, and I mean I've had a lot of issues with a lot of my symptoms cropping up, and it seems to happen whenever I have a UTI, and it's just, as everybody here knows, it doesn't make things any easier, and I really wish I could kind of control that problem so I knew how sick I actually was without that. And
Yeah.
we did look online. I was looking on Amazon, and I think they have test strips that you can buy, and I might get some of those so I can kind of monitor myself a little bit more because I just there's not a lot of symptoms, and I think it probably just creeps up, and then
Yeah.
and then I'm feeling like crap, and I don't know why, you know.
Yeah, my neurologist was really bothered when I mentioned that I was having UTIs quite often. And that's when she and my urologist talked about Hiprex, and then Hiprex hasn't been working very well. So I'm going to supplement my Hiprex with D-Manos. But I know my neurologist was really like, you just having UTIs is not good for those of us with MS. I don't think it's good for anyone, but
It's not good for anyone, but it's common. I didn't know that. So I remember reading that and just
yeah,
freaking out, especially when they like didn't have enough from my first sample. Now I'm like 10 days into this one treatment. And I talked to the neurology nurse because that it just any little thing could just send your anxiety level so high. And she said, Karen, you're not gonna. I was like, I was reading like, yeah, you get it. She's, Karen, you're not gonna have a UTI for the rest of your life. It will get better. It was like just to even hear that, because Mike, you're just with like, I don't know. I'm just this, I'm just a sitting duck waiting for the next one. I don't know if I have it. So the more you can push it back on them to say, look, I need a plan, or make sure the urologist knows that it's a neurological that in my case I really didn't deal with the urologist. It just wound up because I found out it was a neurology thing and whatever. But just trying to ping pong between your primary, the urology, the neurology, and is it like working, and it's not this one, and that's enough to just make
Yeah, it
everything
drives
bad,
me crazy.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
I think
anyway,
I've done the test strips. I've gotten the ones online. You can get some at Walgreens, but I like the one that breaks down all the different things, like with the what
Yeah.
they have at the doctor's office. Another thing I would recommend, since this is something kind of problematic when you're at the doctor's office, ask them, hey, can I get a couple P cups? So if I feel like I have it coming on, I can take a sample and then drop it off versus having to go there and pee in it.
Oh,
Like,
that's a good idea.
just have it on hand. So like, ooh, like, so that happened to me too, Mike, where I used to have the symptoms of the blood and the pain, and then that just went away. So I don't have the normal symptoms that usually alert you, frequency, urgency,
Yeah.
things like that. So, but yeah, that's a great thing to do if you're just feeling like not right. Get a urine sample to get it taken, see it, and take it to the doctor's office. Do a test strip first, and and if you're still like, then go, take your P cup in and have them test it for you. So, did you have any other issues besides the UTI? Are you having problems with birds now? Like urgency, frequency in general? And you mentioned the retention.
Yeah, I do have urgency sometimes.
Hmm.
Not so much frequency, except that sometimes because of the retention, I go, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I gotta finish up, so it's kind of like that sort of thing.
My other recommendation would be see a pelvic floor physical therapist. I saw one, was it December 21? And they really helped me out because I was like going to the bathroom all the time. I'm like, what's my deal? And so I found them very helpful. And they see both men and women. It's just not women. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's
Yeah,
it's
I'll have
been
to look into that 'cause I thought that was just for women for some reason.
no, no. And I think if Rick is here, I think we may be doing a webinar with the physical floor therapists. He will have to
Yeah.
chime in here.
Yep. I just wrote to Dr. Rubin today and somebody else and pencil it in for the 29th of March, which is a Wednesday, and we'll be having a physical floor therapy rehab session with Dr. Rubin, and she's picking the PT. She's picking the pelvic floor PT to come along to the meeting, and it's going to interest you guys, and it's also going to interest. It's open to everybody, so it's not focused at any one disease. But the prostate cancer guys are really interested in it, and you are interested in it, and anybody else. So we'll have the flyers out. Please spread the word. Okay. It's
And
free, it's drop in. I think Miss Kim will be one of the moderators, so we're guaranteed to have fun.
yeah, I will ask any question you have. I am not embarrassed to ask her. She is a urologist slash sexual health expert, so she takes any of those questions all the time, and she's really, really good and super down to earth and friendly. And her and I get along really, really well. So I recommend.
She's amazing.
And she has a
That's
couple.
all.
If you go to our AnCan, I don't know where it's at, but we do have a couple of webinars that we've already done with her. One of them about urology and MS. That was like November of 21, I believe, that we did with her. And then we did a follow up with sexual health, and that was opened up with MS and cancers and everybody. So those are some good resources too. But yeah, I'm glad you're being seen tomorrow. Get those P cups. And I know with men, UTIs tend to be complicated. So sometimes they're a little harder to treat and takes a while, but just be cognizant that if something was just overall you just feeling kind of out of it, wonky, something's not right, go ahead and pull a urinary analysis. Go ahead and do do your P test to get that ruled
You
out.
can I ask, since we're talking about this topic, is at the time they did, I know you can get over the counter, but I got a prescription for Azo. Does it help? Has anybody used it? I haven't had an UTI since that
Well, there's
incident. But
two types of azo. There's azo that's cranberry, which is the pink one, and then there's azo that's blue. That's the actual pyridium, which is like a pain. It helps with the pain. It's not as strong as the prescription strength, but it can help reduce the pain.
well, I have a prescription that I got. So I
Right, it's
mean,
available prescription or over the
if it
counter, but it's
happens,
different strengths. Kind of
Right,
like,
but I mean, it's just like if you get it, and especially with me with my impaired mobility, I don't really want to go through the hoops of calling someone, getting a prescription, picking it up, getting it home. So if I already have it, you mean if I have some pain, I should try to,
right. So it's a pain reliever, so it'll help you with the
yeah,
pain, but it won't treat the infection, a bacterial infection. So it'll help with
thanks.
discomfort. But, you're welcome. Did you have any other things you wanted to say or any other comments with the mic so we can get to the next person that wanted to talk?
No, I think that's it. Thanks. I appreciate all of the help with that.
You're welcome, Mike. Thanks for bringing that up. Let's hit Big Red, Jen. She's still here? Yes, she
Yeah.
is. Sorry, you moved on my screen.
It's like ninja. Okay. Update. Okay. So I had my MRI. You want the good news or bad news? We want to hear some good news first, right? Yes. I'm going to be a grandma. Did I tell you guys that?
I
No, I don't
think
think I did.
so.
Did
I
I?
think I think so because I'm like, you're too young to be a grandma. I'm pretty sure you told us.
I know I'm too young to be a grandma. Okay.
We talked
Yes.
about
My
two
daughter's.
two
Huh?
two video. We talked about it about 2 or 3 video chats ago.
Okay, man. Okay. So yes, my daughter got her ultrasound. She'll be due August 25th, and that's the good news. Now, let's see. A few weeks later, I had my MRI, and they found I had to like write it all down because I'll never remember. Cervical stenosis. So my neurologist sent me to a spine surgeon, which they also found a lesion in there as well. So they can't stay up in my brain. They want to travel down and party. I have no idea. So I'm going to have an anterior cervical discectomy and fusion. Sounds wonderful, don't it? I totally YouTubed it. Don't ever do that. But I did because I'm nosy like that. And so, yeah, that's happening. I have to go back to the spine doctor because I was kind of, I'm too busy for it. But then I was like, did some deep thinking and talking to my black market therapist, and it's not going to get any better if I don't get it fixed. So March 14th, I go see the spine doctor and get set up to have a surgery. It sucks.
So what exactly does it mean? What I don't know anything.
Okay, yeah, I looked
Yeah.
it up. Okay,
Okay.
so the disc in between the cervical spine, the disc part inside the two whatever layers, they have to take that out, take out the plates, and put a new kind of like either a cadaver bone or some other kind of piece they put in to widen it. So because it's putting pressure on it. And so they're going to have to go into spaces like 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think. I think there was 4 of them. And then place that cadaver bone inside after they took out the other plate. And then put like this metal plate on there and like, I guess, screw it in. I don't know. So hopefully that, huh?
Are you in pain right now? I mean, how did you? Yeah. I mean, crap.
Yeah.
So how did you just saw the doctor because you were in pain and
I was up for my MRI because, last year I didn't have insurance, so I didn't go for the
okay.
whole year. And I was walking with that cane for a while because I couldn't, my legs hurt so bad. And I was losing my balance even more. So I don't know if it's because I could ignore one hell of a pains, because I do. I just kind of work through it like all the time. I don't know why I do that. Probably fear. But then the neurologist says, this is what we found. Hopefully with that, the lesion that's right there close to it on my spine, my spinal cord, it'll help it heal, is what the spine guy said. I don't know. They go through your neck. It's disgusting. Ugh.
Well, cervical is neck. That is your neck.
I know.
So it makes sense they go through. I wouldn't want them to go through.
Okay, I watch a lot of murder mystery, the Kim. Okay, can you just see, like, you know?
Yeah, I can see where it would freak you out. Yes,
They freak
but
me
I'm
out a
just
little
saying
bit.
I wouldn't want them to start at my foot and cut all the way up to my neck. That's all I'm saying. I like it close to where the problem is.
What's it called again, Jennifer?
Oh, you're gonna make me say it. Hold on a minute.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anterior cervical discectomy and fusion.
So they're just
That's
going
the
to
name of
go
the
into the
surgery?
cervical area, take it out,
Take out the
and
plate.
and then fuse something into it. You know.
Yep. They usually either. He showed me a piece. My mom recorded the whole thing. I was like, go, Mom, because she was like, let me go with you. And I was like, I usually do this all by myself anyways, because I'm a stubborn redhead.
Right.
And
There's a club here of stubborn redheads.
and so I was like, fine. And then she looked at me real serious. She's like, you would want to go for your babies. And I was like, okay, Mom, you got me there. So she asked 50 million questions, which is fine. And then she asked the question, what if she doesn't do it? Because she knows me too well. And that's when he said, I mean, it's not going to get any better. And it's weird because, like, I had the year prior, like last year I didn't have any MRIs, but the year prior I had 2 MRIs, and that didn't catch any of that. So I was like, ooh. Then I was thinking, I was like, damn, is that like, going fast? That's what's in a year? A little bit more than a year? Have that much damage?
But is that from the MS or something else?
I think it's another thing,
Me too.
probably. But the other lesion, there is a lesion in there, which that would be from my MS, he said.
So, Jennifer,
Yeah.
my mom slipped on some ice and had to have the exact same thing done to her as what you're describing. And she didn't really lose the ability to like look around, but she was definitely a little bit more shoulder than neck. And I was in high school, so 30 years ago. I think they probably got better at it. You know what I mean?
I sure hope so, John.
Yeah, I mean, they're practicing still.
Let's see if I can find it. Hold on.
I said, why does she keep touching her neck? And then when you said, because they go in that way, okay, I would think that, but I did before I got diagnosed, because on the way to the MRI, on the way to the MS diagnosis, the MRI said I had something weird on my thyroid, and I had to thank goodness they didn't take the whole thyroid out because it wasn't cancer, but they took out half my thyroid, and the neck part of the surgery is easy. I even barely have a scar, and so maybe it's just an easier way to go in.
Okay.
That's exactly what Mom has.
Yeah. So they go through and they take the old or damaged plates out, and because I didn't fall or anything, he said it was a deformity, like a birth deformity, or something. I don't know. I was like, I knew I was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I knew I was.
When you say plates, do you mean the discs?
The discs. I'm sorry. Yes, the
Okay.
discs.
Yeah.
Bones,
Okay.
the actual,
Yeah.
the actual I'm assuming the actual vertebrae. They're taking out the vertebrae and then putting in cadaver vertebrae. Is that what they're doing?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're taking
And
out
then
the
they.
bad bone and putting in the cadaver bone.
Right.
Mhm.
There you go.
Dead man
That's
walking.
why you donate your body. Help someone else out.
And it's not
Oh,
even
I'm.
from a
I
human
am.
cadaver.
Probably human cadaver. It could be. I know that they use
Hopefully.
parts
I'm
of
gonna
the.
ask for its ID.
They can't give it to you. That's confidential. I did.
Jennifer,
That's a lot, Jennifer.
I just wanted to say that Herb Geller, who I think has attended this meeting once or twice, he's one of our board members and he's a moderator of the Advanced Prostate Cancer Group. He just went through this surgery about 4 weeks ago. Now, his situation is complicated because he's also in the midst of fairly complicated advanced surgery for his procedures for his prostate cancer with radionuclides. But if you, and he's been living with this condition for 25 years, and he says he should have done it 25 years ago. So if you want to talk to him, I'd be happy to connect you. It's, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, just reach out to me, rd@ancan.org.
I will.
And the
Okay.
I
other
got
thing,
you on speed dial, Rick.
Uh-oh.
the other thing I was going to tell you, Jennifer, different. But when my mom saw the orthopedic surgeon for her knee, I asked, "Is this normal to like have it rapid?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can have rapid deterioration in months. That's not uncommon." So I'm like, "Doesn't it take like years to like go from?" It's like, nope, it can be months. I'm like, oh, okay. I
That's
didn't know that.
great. So I was thinking this. I was like,
It's
okay,
like the knee,
logical,
but you know,
logical. If this has only happened within the year, then what's to say, like, what's the next year look like? So I was like,
it could
okay,
stay
you
the
got me.
same. It could get worse. I don't think it'll improve unless something. Yeah. So
Right.
yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments before we go on to the next person that wanted to talk tonight?
Well, I just wanted to say, like, if you're truly interested in like the donor information, it might be possible to get that. I worked at a tissue bank before I had to stop working. And there is a way to register through the medical facility that you get your surgery done at. And you can request to have contact with the donor's family or get demographic information. I think you're able to get demographic unidentifying information.
Mm-hmm.
And if the donor's family, they can contact them. And if they are willing to talk, which a lot of people aren't, but it is possible sometimes to get contact with that donor's family too, and so that you can thank them for their loved one's gift and things like that. So that's just something to consider if you're really interested in it. But sometimes it's better not to know too. So that's
Yeah, it
all.
could be a serial killer.
Thanks
I
for
was like,
sharing,
oh no.
Jennifer. This is like a big thing, and I'm just sending you strength for what you have to decide and get through.
I just know you're gonna rock it, Jenna.
I
So
know.
I know you're just gonna rock it and kick butt, and I'm
And it
very
makes
confident
me
in this.
maybe an inch taller.
You're not like super tall anyway, so it's probably okay for you.
I'm 5'6", Kim. God.
I know. I'm like saying you're not like 6'9" or like, ooh, that would be even like more problematic. Like, you know.
My kids are. My boys are. I'm not.
But you'll also have to slow down. You'll have to learn that.
I've already slowed down. MS has already slowed me down way down. I don't even work 40 plus hours. I like 40 hours is what they get. That's it.
Right, but you're like, I got time for this. And it's like, yes, you do.
I used to work like 75 hours a week. Now I just don't. Nope. So that's my story. Let's stick to it.
Well, thank you for sharing and let us know how
Mhm.
that goes. And I would talk to Herb if you want to, because he's amazing anyway, and he would be a wealth of information. So
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome. Let's go to Carmen next. Carmen, what did you want to talk about tonight?
I just was going to share that it's very interesting to be switching roles from, some of you might know I had a knee replacement surgery in June this year or last year. So switching roles from being cared for to the caregiver. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, although I, still need my own help sometimes. But my husband had a heart attack, and actually he was very lucky. He was in ventricular tachycardia, which is like a very dangerous arrhythmia of the heart. And I mean, they gave him a Holter monitor to wear, like to trace his heart for 5 days, and he handed it in. And within 6 hours, they were calling saying, you need to get down to the emerge and you can't even drive. So it was pretty scary. Anyway, he's got a implant now. He's got a pacemaker and an implantable cardioverter defibrillator. So he can't drive for the first 4 to 6 weeks until that's stable. And he's not working. He had a heart attack, so he's very weak. And it's just, wow, to switch roles when, I'm pushing myself to get through my fatigue and everything. It's just interesting and challenging. So I'm just sharing where I'm at. That's all. Just any cheerleading or whatever would be welcome.
The Canadian government called, and they're kind of wondering what we know about you, and what we all know is that you're super duper strong, and that you can handle pretty much anything. I mean, you're coming from Canada, for Pete's sake. You're going to kick this
Thanks,
thing's
John.
ass,
Thanks, John.
of course.
It's kind of weird how the roles are now reversed, because your husband was
Hmm.
taking care of you after your knee surgery, and now it's like you're having to return the favor with
Hmm.
getting him around and helping
Yeah.
him out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, in my mind, I would do anything to repay my husband for all he's done for me, but
Yeah.
until I can get up and start walking, hopefully soon, um, you know, I'm kind of limited on what I can do for him. I can't even
Hmm.
cook him a meal because I can't reach the top of the stove because I'm too
Right.
far down. Well, I can reach the top, but I can't see what's in the pot. So,
I kind
yeah.
of joke like we take turns being tired. He'll rest and then I'll be doing some stuff and then, okay, I've got dinner ready to go. You just have to do this, this, and this. Now I like tag, you're it, I'm out. So we sort of kind of tag each other off and on. We're finding our way anyway. So just a lot. But thanks for listening. That's it. That's just where I'm at right now.
Let us know
I'll-
if you need any help between now and the next meeting, just to vent or talk or anything. Please feel free to reach out. Anyone else
I
want to
just
comment anything before we go on the next one? Go ahead.
I just
What were
think
you
about
going to
how strong all of you guys are, like, that's what kind of comes to mind, and everyone's going through their own stuff and just these different challenges that we all have and how tough we all have to be. Like, we didn't sign up for this, but we sure have to have a tough skin and just suck it up and get through the day.
If you asked me what my superpower is, I would say resilience. I'd say I am so freaking resilient. It is disgusting.
Hmm.
But it's a good superpower, I think. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
is you have to have the balance of being able to rise to challenge, but at the same time treating yourself with very good care and getting your needs met at the same time, and not just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna slough off on that because then you get in a super deficit. So you have to be like you did, like, okay, I take you to dinner. I gotta check out now. You good for
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
hours? Okay, I gotta go check out for a
And then
while.
to be like to have some grace for myself too, and
Hmm.
be okay with saying I can't do it all. And he knows that and I know that. So it's just that inner voice that says, okay, you have to get this done. Well, maybe I just can't get this done right now. So just be be a little softer. Just have some grace with yourself. So that's what I am kind of my inner mantra, I guess.
And John knows from personal experience when he's like where we need help and sending the Facebook help. He just had this people that he had you wouldn't even think would come in out of the walls to just do stuff, and it was
Yeah.
just an amazing thing. So do never be afraid to ask for help.
It's also
That's a
just
good
being
point.
vigilant to watch what's going on with you. I mean, just I have this, well, in case anybody needs, but there's a thing called Get Your Refund, and it's a government, kind of government, they don't pay for it, but it's somehow connected to get your taxes done for free. I mean, it's kind of amazing. So I had that. I've had it done for 3 years. So this year, and I just uploaded my documents, and I'm just very vigilant. I can't take a lot on. I have to slow down. I have to just take my time. And the guy, they do like quality. There's different people. You upload it. Then the quality review guy said, "Okay, can we talk today at 4 o'clock? I got the taxes ready." And I know it's not just simple for the brain, even though mine were simple and there wasn't anything. And then he explained some things to me that I never understood. And he said, "Okay, so now you just, have to e-file. Well, I can do this for you, and you can this and email." And I said, "Look, I can do this, but talking to you today was enough on Sunday. I'll get to it in the next day or two." Then he's writing back, and I said, "Look, this isn't how this." People are always trying to give you solutions when the solution is not now, not today. I've got to rest. And it doesn't even have to be like a hostile thing. And I'm so glad I waited till today, this afternoon, just before I could do it. I was this problem solving because your brain is slower, your body is slower. There's other things. It's like, it's not just clicking the form and now I got to put it in my documentation system. So the more I find, the more I honor, this is how I need to do it. And it just, because nobody gets it. I mean, nobody gets it. Nobody.
That's a good example of asking for help, Karen. I am going to go to the next person because we got a couple people left still. So Jen, go ahead and share. Digman, sorry, I got to tell. So we got two Jens. Go ahead with what you wanted to talk about tonight.
I was actually going to complain and whine about my urinary health, but Mike brought the topic to the table. So I was going to talk about that. So thank you. And Carmen, thank you for sharing with us what's going on with you. And I'm excited / nervous that we're flying to Washington, D.C. on Monday. And I haven't flown since the pandemic. And it's like I forgot what I'm doing and I'm freaking out because I'm like, they're going to break my chair. They're going to drop me in the transfer. And so I'm just like I'm a little nervous, a little agita. I'm just a little nervous about it. But so that's all that's going on in my mind. But it's good to be with my people. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Just out of curiosity, Jen, when you go through security, do you
I take
sign
my
up
guns
ahead of?
out of my purse.
I know that part, but do you call them ahead of time to do the TSA Cares program so they're aware that you're going to come into the security or not?
That would be incredibly intelligent, but I didn't check. No.
Well, can I tell you about it?
Well, you have to go to the airport to sign up for it, and the airport.
Mm,
Yeah, well, with Detroit, they tell you that you have to go to the airport to sign up for it. And Detroit's 2.5 hours from me. So that's part of the reason why Dan and I have not signed up for that. But I just go, and when I go to Delta to check in, they kind of swoop me away. And so I can circumvent the big, super long lines a little bit. But yeah, but I should just listen to it. Obviously, you're going to tell me something.
Oh, well, you can like fill out a form online up to 72 hours, or they have a phone number that's not 24/7. They have hours, and you just tell them you're coming, what flight, and then what are your special accommodations you need, and so then they'll know you're coming. And so that was something I became familiar with recently. So, and it's not just for anyone with mobility issues. It could be cognitive issues. It could be, hearing, just a wide variety of things. If you have like a lot of medication and you're like freaked out about going in because you have like all this stuff, you're like, they're gonna stop
So
me.
what is the program again, and
It's
who
called
is it for, and what does it do?
it's TSA Cares. Let me try to find. I'm trying, it's hard for me to run and search at the same time here, but it's called TSA Cares.
Well,
And the
I'm
purpose and who is it for and how? Yeah.
Oh, I'll find it, Kim.
Yeah, find it for me, because I just did the stupid video and that's not what I want to look at. But yeah, it's called TSA Cares. I can at least put that in the chat.
yeah, well, I'm looking it up right now. Thanks, Kim. I will investigate it.
And then
I
I'm just gonna throw on there too, if you need transportation help at the airport, then you directly talk to that's just for the security portion of it. If you want transportation help, like to get on and off your flights and stuff, you go directly through your airline that you're flying with, just so you
yeah.
guys know. So that's another, I was having some talks with some people the other day where she's like, oh, I think I can walk. And I'm like, you're going on vacation. Don't burn up all your energy walking in the airport. There's a lot of walking in the airport. I said, let them take care of you. Spend your energy on your actual vacation portion, not the travel part. So,
Yeah.
And then you don't get stuck in a line too. Like you get brought to the sort of front, so you're not standing, waiting. Very
And
worth it.
as much as it helps me, it'll help Dan so that he doesn't have to stand in the line and walk and wait forever. So,
and the
yeah,
cool thing too is you have someone that works at the airport, so they know exactly how to get you there. They know the shortcuts. If you're in a big airport, it's pretty sweet.
yeah, well, thank you. I typed that in. I'm gonna write that. I'll check on that tomorrow. Thank
Yeah, if
you
you
for
have
that.
any issues on flying, I've been flying a lot lately, so let me know. I will help reduce. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. Like I said, I haven't flown since before the pandemic. So, it's been 3 years. So I'm just a little more nervous. So that's all.
excellent. Okay, I think the next person that wanted to talk was John.
Okay, so I'm going to gloss over some things because,
Hold on one second, John.
yes, sir.
Jen, the second link I put in there, if you click on it, is the information on the program. The first link is the actual form you fill out. But if you click
Oh,
on that second link, it'll open in your browser and you can read it later.
all right.
Sorry,
Thank
Jen.
you, Rick. I appreciate that. Sorry, John.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm excited for your trip.
Me too.
Post tons
Thank
of
you.
pictures.
Me three.
So the big thing is I got my power chair, and I've been doing
Yay.
donuts around the house and getting to in certain spots and places. So that's been really good. That's been fun. Um, Something that I'm just really going to gloss over is I filled out my advanced directive last weekend. Which
Yeah.
says, "Hey, good job," but
That's smart. That was actually a brilliant thing to do, John. I commend you
yeah,
before that because a lot of people are like, scary, scary, scary. I don't want to think about it. And then that's the best peace of mind you can give yourself and others and loved ones. So,
yeah.
huge high,
Thank you,
it's an
thank you.
amazing thing to do.
Um, but the best news is I've always had this pain, tingling, and like numbing. And we've always said like, "Oh, hey, it's just MS," which is great when people say just MS. It's just MS. Went to my pain clinic. Doctor said we did the EMG, the shocking and the poking, and I had some nerve damage in my ulnar nerve, and then whichever one causes carpal tunnel. I've always had this stuff like since around the time I was diagnosed, so you can see why we were like, oh my gosh, it's got to be MS. But This is the first doctor to ever say to me, "I don't think it's MS, dude. I think it's nerve stuff, but it's not MS related." So I get to have surgery,
Ah,
and they're like, "You can't use your right wrist and arm for about 3 weeks after the surgery," which really cuts out a lot of my, being able to get up and things like that. Um, so I'm putting that surgery on hold until this summer so I can get back to kicking ass at physical therapy. So like, hey, you can stand up without putting two hands underneath of you. You can do all the things you need. Um, so it's on my right arm, and I'm left-handed. So like, not that I actually hand write stuff anymore. I mean, I don't know, but it's good to know, you know. Um, but my pain doctor said, yeah, he's going to sell you on the surgery right away. He's going to try to have it done next week, and sure enough, that doctor did. You know, yeah. So those are the things. Also,
So
those of us
I
that,
want to say something on pain, John.
yeah, of course.
Um, so we have been looking at starting a chronic pain group now for quite some time, and it would be um, it would be disease agnostic. Um, and I was in a meeting about 6 weeks ago, and somebody else in the meeting was the executive director of the U.S. Pain Foundation. Who knew there was a U.S. Pain Foundation? But there is, okay? And we were talking about virtual groups, and they said they run virtual groups. So we said, well, that's great because we don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you have groups, then let's uh, let people know that you have groups. I did a little more digging, and it's ridiculous synchronicity, but the woman who runs all these groups happens to be a member of my synagogue here in Tucson. I mean, crazy, man. But this is the case. And her husband's a Brit, and I don't know her very well, but I've spoken to him a couple of times. We share the same name. My middle name is his first name. Anyway, my sister suffers from chronic pain from fibromyalgia. And she was going to be, or will be, if we set something up, one of the moderators. So I said, Den, why don't you drop into a group, see what the groups are like? So she's dropped into 3 different groups, and the experience compared to the experience in our groups is a total anathema. She says she comes out of those groups, she feels more depressed and more upset than when she started in the groups. I mean, I couldn't imagine holding a group like that. They have 11 do's and don'ts that they recite before every meeting. They're not allowed to use the chat window. Can you imagine if this group couldn't use the chat window? We'd have a revolution. We'd have a revolution. They can't. They mix education and support. They have long intros with every person that comes in, which we try very hard to avoid. So she said it was an hour and a half group, and she said they were into it 50 minutes before they even got into anything regarding support. And then people are only allowed to talk to the moderator. They can't talk to other people in the group. So anyway, the bottom
Who,
line is
who
I got
funds
my
this MS Pain Foundation? Is that
US
something
Pain
to do?
Foundation.
Yeah, the
US
U.S., but
Pain.
who funds it? Where do they get money
It's
from?
a non-profit like we are. I don't know who funds it. So we I got my sister to write up the issues, and I sent it to them, and I said, I'm sure you will run a great group, but we do it in a different way, and maybe we can both do it. And you'll advertise our group, we'll advertise your group. It'll just be like another flavor. So hopefully, because if we don't, if we don't get somebody like US Pain to advertise it, we can't create the group because we can't get to enough people. We can't put the word out because we're not a pain group foundation, you know? And how do we tell people? But I will tell you that we want to start a group. And do you know where I send US Pain to see a model of the groups? A perfect model of the groups? I send them to the MS group. I say, watch this MS group. They are wonderful. And this is how our groups operate. Seriously, I'm not just patting you guys on the back. This is truth. I send them to this group. So we'll see what happens, but we would love to have a pain group. We'd love to be able to support people that are in chronic pain. It's very important. Go ahead
I'm
with
just
your
curious
next thing.
about this support group if only the moderators can talk. I don't get it. I'm sorry, just lost a little.
I feel like that would be just be like,
Moderator, can you ask Jennifer about? That's how I would be as a person in that
But they
group.
can't chat.
Yeah, that would be a little rough. I don't know. I've never been in the group.
No,
I can't make any assumptions, but just listening to it, it sounds interesting.
it just makes no sense to me. They can't chat. They can't talk. Only the moderators. How is that a support group? How are they supposed to help each other? I don't get it.
Speaking of support groups, our next meeting is in 2 weeks, March 14th. Does that just flip everyone out that it's March 14th in 2 weeks? It kind of
Yeah.
flips me out. Like, what? What is up with that?
Yeah.
I
So
put
just
my email in the chat, and I can't remember why I was supposed to give someone my email, but I put it in the chat. So
We got it. I signed you up already. I signed you up to get notices for
thank
the
you.
MS group, and I signed you up for notices for the art class, Sherry.
Oh, thank you.
and then keep it on your calendar for Wednesday, March 29th for the pelvic floor physical therapist webinar with Dr. Rachel Rubin and a pelvic floor physical therapist. And if that's okay, I'm going to stop the recording unless anyone else.
Hold on,
Oh, I'm
Kim.
sorry.
John had other things. I interrupted him.
no, we talked quickly about the advanced directive. We talked about the chair. We talked about the surgery and how we can get ready for it.
And that nasty EMG, John.
Oh, you had yours?
Yeah, you said, oh, it wasn't so bad.
I've had another one since you've had yours, and yeah, I
What are you
agree.
guys
Those
talking about?
EMGs. When I had mine the year before, or no, it was last year. I did have mine last year. That's the only testing I still paying for it.
What does that stand for? I don't even know what it is. Sorry.
Electrical, shit.
Yeah.
It's
That was
they probe your nerves and you kind of makes you jerk. And I
the
told
worst test ever.
I told this group, and John's like, oh, it's no big deal. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. You lied,
sorry,
John.
sorry, I had some radiculopathy in my foot, so I didn't really feel it very much. But yeah, I had the EMG, and I'm not even kidding. It was a damn cattle prod. But as a way to find out that it's not MS. That it's something just with repetitive motion, which I mean I do use a mouse and keyboard a lot, so that makes sense. But yeah, no, everything else is cool, Rick. Thank you though.
I had an EMG in my legs. I didn't think it was that bad. I've never had it in the hand though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine was hand up to here. I thought I was gonna swing my arm and punch my wife on accident. It's like, ugh.
Well,
Well, thanks,
thank you,
everyone.
Jennifer,
It was nice
everybody,
to
I
see
for
you.
owe
Good luck
joining
with
us
all your
tonight.
upcoming.
Jennifer, I owe you a drink.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Very strong.
I
Strong
still
drink.
think I still think we need to have a conference, an AnCan conference someday where we have all the different groups meet and some things can be separate and other ones can be we're all together. I think that'd be so cool. Rick set
That'd
that
be
up.
nice.
All right. I'm working on it.
Since
I'm
there's 3
working.
people from Michigan here, we should have it in Michigan. Just saying.
I'm on board with that as long as it's not on the East Coast. Because we'll have to drive. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be in a car for over 20 hours.
And if it's going to
Or
be in
multiple.
Michigan, it has to be in the dead of winter. I mean, what?
Which we're in right now.
You haven't lived until you've experienced a Michigan winter. Like
Until
seriously,
you've
Well,
you've got 9 inches of snow on top of 2 inches of ice, and like people are joking online like, "Oh, Big Rapids is shut down," but yeah, like nothing was open yesterday. Like even like McDonald's closed because it was so bad. So yeah, the past couple weeks have been really hard for me, or hard for everyone with all the snow we've got.
Mhm.
We had
Don't come
snow.
to
It's gonna be
Indiana
90 tomorrow.
don't come to
What
Indiana because you can't bring your Maui Wowie.
yeah. Come to Michigan. It's legal here.
I didn't know it was legal in Michigan.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Legal here in Canada too.
Oh.
The
it's
entire
it's
country, Carmen?
yeah,
Yep.
It's not by provinces.
Nope.
it's from some of my Canadian friends. They say it's the only good thing that Justin Trudeau did, but I don't think that that's true. But that's
No.
just really funny way to say it.
Yep. It's a good thing that he did though. Yep.
And they brag
Anyway,
how
I'm gonna
cheap it
go.
is.
Bye guys. Nice to see you guys.
Hey,
Bye,
bye,
Nice
Carmen.
seeing you. Hope
Carmen.
you
Bye,
guys are safe on
Carmen.
the
See
14th.
you soon. I hope your husband feels better.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone. I'm out too.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Jen.
Bye, John.
All right.
I'm going to head out too. So, yeah.
And
Good
me
to see
too.
y'all.
Good night,
Bye, Jen.
everybody.
Rick,
See
it
you.
won't let me stop the recording. Can you
Oh, you
stop
got
the recording? Okay. Now my screen just went wonky.
You might just have to have Alexa fix it. So you could edit the
Yeah,
one.
Rick, I can't stop the recording. It just gives me an error. So if you can stop the recording, or I'm just gonna have to kick everybody off.
Yeah, I couldn't stop it either. So, if I hit leave, I don't think I'm gonna kill everything. So,
Thank you for letting
I
me
don't
come
have those
to the group.
permissions, so
No, it's only Rick,
bye,
me, and
Sherry.
Jennifer.
Thank you for
yeah, I know.
coming tonight.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
all.
great
Nice
meeting
meeting
you,
you, Sherry.
Sherry.
Thank you. You guys too.
Look at that baby. Didn't do anything. No noise, no nothing. That baby's just makes everybody want to go get a baby. They're so easy.
Don't.
Okay.
This is okay. So she's not my blood niece. She is like her mom is like one of my best friends. And she's like my little sister. She has 4 kids. 28, 4 kids. I'm like, you're crazy. And this is her youngest. And not only that, she's got a cast. I don't know if you guys saw her pretty pink cast. And she's crawling. And she's in the process of learning how to walk. What's going on?
Oh, I lost all.
Another cheese thing?
We're here. Yeah.
I can't even. I can't even.
Hear
I
us?
can't even hit send on the messages.
Well, you're here with us. Can you hear us?
I know. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna have to
Because
list
Rick
cut us
kicked you
all
out,
off
or
here.
Rick took himself out, or something like that.
Right,
Maybe.
but when I try to send them, okay, that's why. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end the session for everybody since I'm the moderator, or else it screws it all up. And then the recording will stop. If you guys want, I can come back in if you want to talk, or we can call it a night. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I
I
need to
think
leave
I'm
the
gonna
baby a book.
And the
call it.
baby's tired.
Okay, we'll just call it a
Yeah.
night then. So
Kim,
it's
you
still
have to read
recording.
that book. Kim, you got to get that book if you haven't read it.
I wrote it down. I'll look it up.
It's
Absolutely.
painful, but it's
Oh,
really
I know
like,
it's painful. I
wow.
worked in the healthcare field. I understand it too well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But it's like, wow, just
but it
wow.
makes sense because we're
Mm.
from a capitalistic society.
Yeah, it
So,
totally makes sense.
yep. Okay. Well, you guys
Hey,
have a
thanks,
great night. It
everybody.
was awesome seeing you, and see you hopefully in 2
Yeah.
weeks. Okay. Bye.
How? Welcome back from